So there I was watching the Joe Rogan special.
Dude, I want to watch that.
I want to watch it. I want to watch it.
4-year-old jokes about COVID,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wait, I've wrote jokes before then. Did he not? Like,
He said he has. It didn't say he hasn't done one in 6 years.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't wrote jokes in 4. So.
Well, his podcast has been the same four jokes as well for the past 4 years. Unfortunately.
My favorite meme from it was someone just put a curly Q because he's in yellow and made him look like Charlie Brown. Was by far the funniest thing ever.
Yeah,
But
that's we got to be kind of silly.
come to the golf outing.
Yeah, we
Tell
got
us
some.
about the golf outing.
We should talk about the golf outing. I'm mesmerized by our new gadget. We finally set up the TV, and we're currently watching our levels live. I don't need to look at the computer, which is kind of dope.
I can't wait to masturbate down here.
It's just
To our levels.
Yeah. Well, not yours. Yours are flat.
yours are yeah, yeah, but
I'm all tits.
real top heavy over there. No, golf outing. We are fast approaching, and we have some great news. By the time you see this, we probably sold out, which is great.
Woo!
So
We made $4 million.
for those of you who signed up
For
from the
for
bottom
charities.
of our hearts, thank you very much for coming. For those of you who didn't, go fuck yourselves. This is why are you looking at me like that?
Maybe they were just busy.
Yeah.
They're not busy. No,
Yeah.
they're not busy. They're not
Don't be
busy.
Mean to people.
Yes.
No, I am gonna be mean to people. It's a good precursor for later.
Yeah, he hates a lot of things.
I hate a lot of things. No, seriously, thank you everyone who has signed up. Thank you to Deer Tracks for allowing us to do this. Thank you to every one of our sponsors. There's still a few spots left if you are interested in just helping out the event, raising awareness for both these wonderful foundations and raising money for the wonderful things they do for our community. So if you're interested in doing that, feel free to message us. But for those of you who already committed to doing it, thank you again so much. It's going to be 10 times better than what last year was. The people that have committed in a great way. So this is going to be such a fun event. We have the course for our entire day, so we can fuck around, which is going to be so fun. We're going to be so sockless. It's going to be amazing. And I know people have been asking about that. Do the socks come off on the Patreon? I don't know. Send us your money, and maybe you'll find out.
I think at the end of every episode, what we will do is probably do a little bit of like
We'll just show you a toe.
a little like ramble of just us recapping.
Yeah.
Will our socks be off? Maybe. Will they be on?
You
Yeah,
never
maybe.
know.
Maybe
We'll
one.
be 69ing.
There
Possibly.
there-
Was this glass table from the bottom view? No.
There was a comment that says, "We're so close, I can feel it." What are we close to? What
Ooh,
what are we
comment down
close
below
to?
what we're
What
close
are we
to.
close to? We had some of the greatest comments I've seen in a while. Someone timestamped 400 different things in an episode.
That's fun.
I believe it's
a good timestamp. I never look at them, but I always know that somebody definitely loved that point. And
I know.
I'm
I was like, it's probably when Judd said something funny. I bet that was when the game got
yeah.
going.
I bet if my mom found out how YouTube works and figured out how to timestamp
This is
time
every time my son shows up on screen.
Mama Cuske, just every time we say Mama Cuske.
Just says
Buzz.
watch the whole thing.
Or it's Buzz on all our shout-outs.
Buzz. Shut up, Buzz.
Buzz, if you really do watch or listen, throw out a comment. We'd love to hear from you.
I don't think Buzz listens on YouTube. I think she's
She's
probably a Spotify or Apple podcast.
really? I bet she's an Apple podcast person.
I would also think that too, but you never know sometime with Buzz. Sometimes she'll surprise you. She's a sweet, sweet lady. And a wonderful mother and grandmother as well.
Pandora.
She's a grandmother. Wow.
Yes.
Buzz.
Booze Better. They are going to be at the golf outing, so that's going to be fun.
They are.
The products are going to be at
Surprised me that they're gonna come next year, in person, which is great. You get to meet the two genius men behind the best hangover cure I have ever tried this side of the Mississippi. And I'm be honest with you, I don't know what side of the Mississippi we're on.
East.
We're east.
Yeah,
we're east.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
In
Did
between-
you not know that? Is this blowing your mind right now?
To be honest, I don't.
Buddy.
Buddy.
We're gonna be talking
Fat
about
chance
Uh,
buddy.
That should be our slogan.
Okay. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. My buddies this weekend we're asking what they can all mix in with the booze better.
Nothing carbonated because
Yes.
it will explode like Coke and Mentos. But if you want to get risky, mix with some carbonated. Just put the cap on, let it sit for a little bit.
Yeah. So,
but don't do beer. Stick with water. Most likely, it's probably like on the label, only water.
Yeah, water. Also, like when you're trying to feel better, you're not throwing down another beer. But I mean, you never know.
Drink after your last drink of the night. Yeah. What if you mixed it with your last drink of the night?
Yeah.
Have I done it?
I've done it.
Yes.
I did it with my middle drink once.
Bold move.
Wasn't supposed to do
saw
that.
You.
Yeah, wasn't supposed to do that. Yeah, it's
all
over a honestly
miscellaneous van that should have gotten pulled over.
Yeah.
They hate charities, except the ones that give a fucking big fucking check to.
Yeah, big checks.
We might have to bleep that.
We're not bleeping any of that out. I'm all for. We didn't sign anything. Slander can happen.
They didn't sign anything either.
But
except for that big fat check.
Yeah. But we might as well introduce what we're doing today. We have something a little different for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Today, we have a special guest. She's a very funny comedian coming out of Los Angeles, California. Funny Carmen on Instagram, or as we know her, Carmen Morales. Mm-hmm. She's going to be here this weekend at the Laughing Tap in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, August 9th and 10th. So what you're about to see is our wonderful interview with her. We play games with her this time. It's not just our, dumb brains. She provides a sense of, intelligence. A few good stories. And
there was a couple times where she was talking, and I was like, "Oh, you're way too."
Oh, she's I thought you were an art nerd. She blows you out of the water.
Yeah, well, my art's like fucking plastic figures that I paint. She knew actual artists, and I knew what artist she was talking about. I was like, "Wow, the way you're talking about this, like you actually."
Well, when
you guys know this is gonna be before we put her on, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Cut it. Start again,
ladies and gentlemen. Carmen Morales.
That is the nice thing about blacking out, right? It saves you from your own anguish.
Yeah, absolutely.
Except when it's recorded.
Yeah, recorded. I think that's most of my friends' contact pictures for me. So
we haven't seen you throw up yet.
No, I've grown up a long time since COVID of 2020.
I am a firm believer this pee on the couch show could be you.
It could have been me.
I guess we can introduce ourselves.
Yes.
I'm Judd Reminger. I'm a comedian here in Milwaukee. This is Jack.
I'm Jack Cersoli. I am a retired comedian here in Milwaukee.
And then Michael Cuske, a current comedian here in Milwaukee as well.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming on, by the way.
2 participating and 1 retired. Smart man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got married, so I was like, got to keep that together. So
we're keeping them.
Does my sound okay for you guys? I just want to make sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you sound great.
You sound way better than we do, probably. So
I need to look at the giant TV we set up for this specifically, not the tiny computer.
Did you, obviously you're flying in this week, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I fly in on Friday early, super early Friday.
Okay. Cool. Well, it's going to be a great weekend for you at Milwaukee, at the Laughing Tap.
Excited. I do always have a good time in the Midwest. I mean, that's like one of the things I always riff about is how the Midwest gets a lot of shit, but it's pretty delightful if you like joy. I mean, seasonal joy.
Yeah.
You're coming at towards the tail end of the joy. I think we can get to about October here, and then you got another 6 months of just gray and nothing. So yeah, you're very right. I mean, if you like to drink, it's fun year round. But if you're not a drinker, you need the sun.
Yep.
Right. Exactly. Well, that's the whole thing is like what sucks is like whatever's good for the Midwest kind of sucks for stand up. So the summer oftentimes is brutal. I'm certain a lot you guys know because everybody wants to be on a fucking beer garden or you know what I'm saying, or they want to be at their buddy's cabin, or they want to be at the Dolls with their kids or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, or you could still go to a nice air conditioned room and listen to my thoughts. I'd appreciate that.
Well,
it's tough.
Absolutely.
It's also when everyone does their festivals too, like in the summertime. So like I'm a producer for Don't Tell Comedy here in Milwaukee, and just getting people to be booked in the summer is so hard. Like, I'm like, just come to the show. Like, come on, you can do comedy. Don't tell. And they're like, I got booked for this festival, or I'm doing this here. I was like, all right, whatever. Yeah, it's a rough time in the summer.
Yeah, and even people showing up, it's because they also.
Conspiracy theory is that they started doing festivals in the summer to combat that everybody is like already outside. They're like, well, what if we bring the comedy outside in a tent where it's kind of unbearable? Yeah. Then
yeah, and everyone's got an out.
Yeah.
You could just disappear in the back if you're doing comedy in a tent.
They've been trying to do a lot of rooftop shows, and I'm like, yeah, you just want the comedians to jump, like if they don't get any laughs. Yeah.
Have you been to Wisconsin comedy before? Have you been to the Tap before? Because I saw you're also doing the Comedy Cabin.
I was actually their first show back when they reopened from the pandemic.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, I love those guys. I mean, talk about comedian on comedian love. Like, they are comedians that started their own club, which oftentimes, if you go historically, a lot of times that's detrimental because you get like a disgruntled, weirdo that's mad that the industry never fucked with them, and then they started their own club, so they have their own rules and can book the people that they like. But there's been a resurgence in comedians owning comedy clubs where it's rad, and this is a perfect example of that. Like, I helped them paint the stage. I used to go to Milwaukee so often that, like, I know all of them. I've known all of them for a decade. Like, I love Milwaukee. I always had a great time there, and it was one of the cities that I always thought was kind of overlooked. Even by musicians too, not just by comedians, but by musicians as well.
So what's your favorite thing to do when you do come down here? When you have been down here, what's the number one thing you do?
I have spent a lot of time in dive bars there. Yeah, but that's, you go because you hang out with your buddies, and your buddies are comedians, and they're all, you guys know, they're all fucking degenerates. So what do you, I'm
You're just waking up. That's like
I know where the casino is. I know where the dive bars are. I know where a late night food spot is. But I mean, I still like, I'm also more of a locals only kind of person when I travel anyways. So, some of the stuff I've been to museums and I still like that. I think you guys have like a cute downtown, which I think is nice. Most downtowns are kind of an abomination, but yours are actually nice and walkable and stuff like that. And there's a lot of diversity in food and like restaurants and stuff like that. And the art scene is pretty sick. Like, I used to do a bunch of shows back when there was the old comedy club that was off of
Old World 3rd. It was called the Comedy Cafe, and it was off Old World 3rd.
I used to do the Comedy Cafe years ago. When you'd get paid, somebody had a Glock on the desk, and you're like, okay, did I bomb? I didn't think I bombed that bad. Jesus Christ.
They would shortchange you, and you couldn't say no. It was awful. Yeah. Comedy Cafe.
Yeah, it was rude. And then there was another one. There was like an old Comedy Zone that was in the basement of a strip club on the west side that I used to do as well. And it was very obviously a money laundering front, but the shows were pretty sick, dude. The shows were pretty sick. Like, because you would get all the burbs people out there, and then you would have like obviously people that hired a babysitter to go to this comedy show, but they had to walk into a strip club to get to it. So
yeah, that was Jokers, and it was yes, it was Jokers, and it was right next to the strip club Silk.
Really?
Yes.
Silk, or was it Arts Performing Center?
No, it was
the original Silk.
So
yikes.
So like they would get a lot of the deals were buy tickets to the comedy show, get a free lap dance and sort of thing. Like, they would have like these like comedy like strip club nights. It was wild. It was called.
That's a match made in heaven.
I think those venues are fun though. Like, if you do a normal like courtyard one, like you said, outside, you have the ability to leave, but the fact that you're in a place you don't think you should be for comedy makes it all that much better. Yeah. Like, we got a babysitter to go smell like cinnamon when we came home, and not the good kind. It's
cinnamon being a person.
Exactly. Cinnamon being a person.
Not even the spice.
Exactly.
If I brought like my wife on a date down there, and I was like, "Hey, we're going to see a comedy show," and like we walk down the stairs of Silk, I think she'd be like, "Let's just go to Silk. Let's just go watch some chicks dance." And I'd be like, "All right, cool, that's fine too." But yeah, no, I feel like that date when you sit down and like
only in certain cities could you get something like that, because there's a lot of a lot of places in the South, they would never tolerate that. Like, those are two things you would have to be very separate. But that was like one of the business plans was like, oh, we'll just make them leave through the strip club, or you have the option to leave through the strip club, so then maybe you go and stay for the few drinks. And it was great for the comedians because all the boys would go upstairs and lose their check to cinnamon.
Yeah,
Exactly.
The money's just flowing.
that's
It's just a
perfect. That's a
constant
great
cycle.
business model. That's actually a really good business model. Like we're not even paying these guys. Like we're not.
You just get a free lap dance if you headline.
It's like when they pay like
It's just money passing hands.
Yeah.
We're just all Venmoing each other in person.
It's not really passing hands, but it's
Well, Bruno Mars does like his Vegas trips, and they like say they paid him in like chips, and now he's so in debt to the casino he can never leave. That's what they say. He's like $1 million in debt.
No way, Bruno.
Yeah, I looked that up.
that doesn't surprise me.
Which is also wild because it's like $900 to see him in Vegas. So the man has got to be balls deep in debt.
That guy sucks. That guy has no poker face. He has no strategy. He just shows up.
He's just singing at the table, and everybody's like, oh, he obviously has this. I'm going to fold.
He's just hitting on 20. It's just like, hit me. Yeah, look at him.
Every time he's going, this bitch.
That's
When's the last time he had a song?
I do think there is something that's kind of exciting about going to a place that's unconventional, i.e., like the Laughing Tap is a fucking brewery that they turned into a comedy club. But the same thing goes for like the Don't Tell shows. Like, why am I at this CrossFit gym? I just got texted an address. This isn't sketchy at all. And then, I actually had a good time. I didn't die. Like, so that usually brings out a kind of person that's interesting and more open to maybe like odder concepts and odder or weirder forms of comedy, I think. So I think comedy in weird places is rad as well.
So I used to say, like, when I started the show for like Don't Tell, I would used to say, I'm like, you guys just got the message today. You did not know where you were going until this afternoon. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, we could have murdered you so easily. Like, you guys were so gullible. You're like, let's go to this meat locker and let's just be fun. But
We bought tickets.
But they're so amped because it's spontaneous. It's a date night. It is a gathering. And they're going to see top-notch comedians that they probably wouldn't just run into on the street or go, like, those big venues,
Well, that's what I Don't Tell is. You guys pull from different cities. And, I mean, a lot of local shows and a lot of – I mean, I think LA's got to be a little different. You guys are a hub, but Milwaukee, most of the local shows are all people we know very well. Don't Tell pulls from several states from around the country, which is really nice. But like you said, the spontaneity, everyone wants something new. So we're bored with our everyday lives and be like, hey, honey, you want to maybe laugh or die tonight? A lot of couples are up for it.
Yeah. Especially Domination, it's pretty.
Oh, the Milwaukee Domination.
Yeah.
So, Carmen, I don't know how much you know about us, but we like to play games here on our podcast. And we also like to get to know our guest. So we're going to play a little...
What a strange thing to do when you have a guest.
We're going to play a little game. We're going to
Oh,
get to know you, and these guys are going to guess your answers.
So here
So we
Here's
guess,
the-
we guess her answers?
So I'm going to give you guys sheets of paper.
here's the other thing. We play games that Jack and I don't know ever.
They're
Judd
never
brings
good at 'em.
something. Yeah, we're terrible. It's like two monkeys in a cage trying to learn how to play
Yeah.
with rocks.
So
and
that paper.
oh,
You took your pen.
I have another pen for you guys. So I have 10 questions all about you. So that I'm gonna give to them and you. So you think of your answer while they write it, and then you say your answer, and then we'll say what they wrote.
Okay, let's see how off it is. Do they get points for it being clever or funny?
Well,
You can decide. You can decide.
You can decide who gets the point.
This is like apples to apples.
But
Being right above all is
some
probably
of them,
more important.
some of them are you can easily answer them. Some of them are up to your discretion of like what's your favorite one. So I'll just start with the first one.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, this isn't
So-
I'm
good.
gonna need this. I've got bad handwriting.
Carmen has a podcast called No Sir! ! So where she talks about things she does not like. So what is your biggest pet peeve? Now you guys write this down. What is her biggest pet peeve?
Oh, you know what's gonna bother me? No, never mind.
What is Carmen's? What is what is Carmen's biggest pet peeve?
I mean, I have too many. Obviously, that's why I have a podcast, because there is more than one. So there's plenty of room here for gray area, boys. I feel like you could just be specific.
I'm
channel
right
your
on this.
inner Jerry Seinfeld.
There you go. What's the deal?
I'm writing on this paper like it's a whiteboard and I can cross it out.
You wrote so big. You wrote so big on that piece of paper. And I haven't wrote a thing. So maybe share some of your ink.
Biggest pet peeve. Write one down.
Oh, God.
I told you, they're bad at question number 1.
Oh, God. Biggest pet peeve. What don't you like? You don't like not rad people.
Okay, that's not good.
Okay.
We're off to a slow start.
Jack
I didn't write that down.
is in. All right.
Indecisiveness might be her number 1.
Okay, I'll put that down.
All right. Do you have an answer?
I mean, yes, I have several.
So, Cuske, what is your answer?
Local podcasts.
Local podcasts. Jack.
So a new pet peeve. Okay.
Indecisiveness.
Ooh, there you go. Carmen, what is your answer?
I have ravenous ADHD, so indecisiveness I have too much sympathy for it to be a big hate. So that's a big no on that, because I am indecisive constantly. So I empathize with you on that. And local podcasts, I actually don't mind. So you're both fucking really wrong on this. I wouldn't have come on this if that was my pet peeve.
I said exactly.
What if this was a roundabout way for you to get me to compliment you? Not bad. Not bad, boys. Not bad.
Thank you, Carmen.
2 things I can't fucking stand. 1, I hate when someone stands in the doorway. I think if you stand in a doorway on your phone or otherwise, the person behind you or in front of you should be able to 300 kick you in the back of the spine. Just right in the middle, give you a middle back pain, the kind that's confusing and you don't know what's caused by it. It's caused by my Adidas in the middle of your fucking C4 or whatever, or L2, whatever fucking vertebra it is. But I can't fucking stand it. I can't stand when somebody stands in a doorway. Just not being spatially aware of the world around them. I will fucking be rude. I will be rude. I will
Spatial
activate the
awareness.
rudeness.
Yeah,
I like
spatial
it.
awareness is like a high priority item for me. If I'm walking with someone and you like bump into my shoulder more than twice on a walk, we're not talking the rest of the walk. Like, that's a guarantee.
We will never walk together because, again, ADHD, I will fucking...
Oh, no.
I am... Dude, I will herd you on accident. Just run you into a wall just because I'm really mid-thought and not like... You will have to walk in the street if you want to walk next to
I
me.
feel like one day you're going to have to explain to a judge, Your Honor, he stepped on the back of my heel.
Yeah, I would never do that. I'm also like 5'1.5" an inch, so I have to scurry walking next to any like normal sized person. So I'm always trying to catch up constantly. So but yeah, and another pet peeve is I fucking hate lima beans. I think they should have never been.
All right, that's.
I don't know if I've ever had one.
I don't think I've ever, yeah, you've never had a lima bean?
Never had a lima bean.
I think they're the
Do
green
they have
ones,
another
right?
name?
Yeah, that's because they're getting phased out of existence because they're so fucking gross. That's why. They're awful. Awful.
All right, well, probably at the show this weekend, Carmen has merch available, such from candles to buttons to shirts. One of the shirts says "Amen for what?" What does it say? Amen for blank. What does the shirt say?
Well, it's not lima beans.
Yeah, what this is, you both should get this.
That's not helpful.
It's too on the nose. They're trying to be clever. It's not that clever. This is a discontinued shirt, actually. I guess.
Oh, limited edition.
Do your research.
Is it simple? Just amen for men, like the Shania.
Well,
Amen
write it down.
I was
Don't-
thinking
don't-
amen for a man.
Write down your answers. Don't be saying.
But I'm not gonna say
Yes,
that.
I'm very supportive of the LGBTQ community as well. So amen.
I would definitely buy one
So
of
then
these
the
shirts if I know they
patriarchy's
were
definitely it.
discontinued.
Amen
for
for the man.
I got it.
Jack, I believe in you in this one. All right.
Know who I believe in?
What did you say?
Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen for Jesus.
I put the man.
Oh,
just
the people
man.
listening, please know I am not a Christian comedian. Please do not come to the show expecting that kind of. What was the other answer? What was the other answer?
The man.
Amen for the man.
Amen for the man. Oh, so you think I'm pro big government? Very odd stance for a comedian.
That lima bean sounds like a
If
conspiracy.
there's one thing
so.
that backdrop says, a lot of stickers means big government. That's what I know for a fact. Yeah.
I actually volunteer my dad at a Big Brother. I like to keep. I don't put anything over my camera when I fucking.
Well, the answer is
titties.
Damn it! That's yes.
That's on.
Yeah,
the
you
nose.
guys should have gotten that. That's
We
one of those
should've.
ones. That was like one of the. I used to sell them in droves, and I honestly, it was about a bit that I did. It was it was one of those old things that merch goes to. Back in the day, you used to do merch for a bit. But then what happens when you don't do the bit anymore? Now you just have this strange shirt with a saying on it. That's fun. It's a non sequitur into nothing. So so I don't sell that shirt anymore. But if enough people give me interest, I'll order fucking.
We'll order some.
Amen
We'll
for
order
titties.
some.
yeah. We're gonna bring it back. That's gonna be our stripe.
Yeah,
Let's bring it
we'll
back.
bring back.
Now here's where we get to know you a little bit more. The question is, what is the weirdest gift you ever received? You guys write it down. What is the
Weirdest gift I've ever received?
weirdest?
The
gift?
weirdest
Yeah,
gift
so write it down. Guys.
I've ever received. Ooh, okay. Well, okay.
I'm just gonna project my feelings through you. Because this happened to me, and I was like, this is fucking weird.
All right, Michael.
I have a lima bean flavored boob cream or lotion.
First of all, is lotion flavored?
I don't know. It's
It's
scented.
scented.
Okay. There we
But I don't
go.
know what lima beans smell like.
Ooh, awful.
Jack, what is
That would
yours?
be horrible.
I wrote a Halloween costume because one time my parents got me a Halloween costume for Christmas, and I thought this was really just like they got this on a deal. So I thought that was weird.
Your Jack's Christmas policy.
That
as a
is so
family?
telling of your family. Holy shit.
I had so many costumes. I got like a Dracula costume. I got like a dragon costume, and it was on Christmas, and I was like, "You got this for sale. Like this is so cheap. You got this for no money at all." But
That was definitely a last day of the spirit store being open when and everything must go. They're like, I don't know, we'll give it to him for Christmas. I don't know.
He'll grow into it.
that's exactly what it was.
I will not only, since you guys do video, I will not only tell you, I will show you one of the weirdest things I've ever gotten. I'm also an art nerd. If you did want to learn something about me, I'm an art nerd. And I love the artist Basquiat. I'm certain you guys have heard of him. If not, super big in the 90s. Black dude. He was unhoused, and it's a tragic story where the art industry cannibalizes his work and blah 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 blah. He ends up dying super young. Drugs. We blame Andy Warhol. I'm summing his whole life up in a very cunty, concise way. But anyways, he did an art piece for a weird what's it called, like a theme park. They did an art themed theme park where like Keith Harding and Salvador Dali and Basquiat made these huge like rides and stuff that were all themed and stuff for their art pieces, and they then it went away for a long time. It was like by some Austrian pop artist that started it. It was like his dream to make this thing happen, right? It was obviously coke-addled, this idea. And he wanted children and people of all ages to be able to digest art in a fun, whimsical way. The idea is great. Execution, not so much. He ends up getting like into debt and like all of these big, huge pieces. Like it was only like one year and maybe 1 month anybody ever saw it. Then it ended up in storage for years and years. Drake, of all people, now granted, this is before we find out Drake is a pedophile, right? Drake oh, did you not know? Southern California, I live in. It's Kendrick country out here, baby.
I'm Team Kendrick all the way. I'd rather have a bear in the woods than a Drake in the woods, you know?
Exactly. Yes, pro bear for sure. Well, not only that, but Drake also seems more needy than a bear. But but so anyways, one of the coolest things Drake's ever done is he threw money at this and got all of those things unearthed. And then there was a display of all of those pieces that were not completely obliterated over time, because this is like 30 years they were in a storage unit. Unearthed him, and all of this stuff got put on display here, and it was an art show called Luna Luna. So any art nerds that listen to this, you can look it up, Luna Luna. And one of the things there is on the Basquiat Ferris wheel, there is a huge monkey's asshole, because it was like commentary on it was like commentary on the art industry that he felt was taking advantage of him. And so there's all these like fuck cops, like all they do is try to kill us. There's all this like brilliant commentary on this Ferris wheel, and then on the back of it, it's a huge monkey's asshole, and they sold asshole. They sold a monkey's asshole, and I own one. I own a plushy monkey's asshole.
That looks like Jeff Dunham merch.
Look at the detail.
That's ridiculous. That looks like it's from the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh,
So the weirdest thing I own, which you guys would have never guessed.
I would have never guessed a monkey's asshole, but I would have guessed a monkey's uncle.
Yeah, monkey's uncle's asshole. That's so funny.
That's great. That's such a fun thing to have, and the fact that it's within arm's reach of you is even better.
She doesn't go anywhere without her monkey's asshole.
It took her 2 seconds.
So
like,
when did what like type of like occasion did you get that for? Did someone just give it to you because they knew you liked the monkey's ass,
or was this like a show thing?
Just knew I liked Basquiat, and they were like, "Oh, this will be funny." You know, it was one of those. It was one of those things. This will be hilarious. Okay. And boy, were they right. That is that's the sweet spot of my Venn diagram. Thoughtful and hilarious.
Art, comedy, monkey ass. Perfect.
So obviously you're on the road a lot for these shows. The next question is, favorite road trip snack. What is your favorite road trip snack?
I mean, I can't keep
Okay, now time out. Are we talking like from a restaurant, or are we talking about like from a convenience store, gas station? Okay.
Yeah, convenience store, gas station. Let's go that.
Okay, question. Are you a multiple snack person, or are you just like one snack? Like we're going ultimate?
Just one. Just one.
All right.
A better question would have been if I'm a salty or sweet person. Would have been more.
Yeah. Nah.
All right, you both have locked in?
Yeah.
Michael, what is yours?
I'm going the Hostess mini donuts.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Old school. All right.
Gardetto's only rye chips.
The rye chips.
Man, wow.
Damn, you were close.
Man, I'm gonna have to give you that one because I love those.
That's my favorite.
It's very controversial because in the mix, people are like, "Fuck the rye chips," and I'm like, "Fuck you! I love the rye chips. I'm a big fan."
You get a little extra butter, a little extra seasoning. It's great. That's so good.
And if you're crazy, you get one of those cheap little cheese sticks. So you get a little cheese stick on your rye cracker. Oh my God, cheese and crackers right there, extra seasoning. Oh yeah, I'll blow your mind. I smoke weed.
I'm gonna write that down.
Where do you get what aisle is that on?
What would be your go-to? Is it outside of the rye bag?
Because I'm more of a savory person than sweet, so I always go savory, and I love a crunch. So usually it'll be like, what is the I love oh man, I love a salt and vinegar, like a kettle crunch
Ooh.
salt
Like a
and
Cape
vinegar
Cod?
chip. Yeah, I love a Cape Cod,
Doesn't
Cape
your
Cod.
mouth burn though after a while though?
but I prefer the chip to the place, if I'm being honest. I have no interest in hanging out with those yuppie fucks, but I will take the chip for sure every time.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
All right.
I banked on us having 4 questions.
We
And
have a
I'm
quick
done.
pop up from Zoom because they give you a certain amount of time for free meeting. So can we give a quick hang up and then call you right back? Yeah. Awesome. Let's do that quick. Keep the same energy though. Don't lose it.
Did we answer?
Hi,
Yeah, we did.
I'm Judd.
And you are?
But yeah, we have some more questions for you, so I guess we can jump right into the next one. Carmen, if you're arrested, what would you be arrested for?
Well, I guess we should start with I have been arrested.
Okay.
Hold on.
Hold on to that. Let us write it down. Let us
Let
write
us
it down.
guess. Let us guess.
Oh shit.
Oh.
We didn't.
Okay.
I just got
Okay.
excited.
All right.
What do you think?
What kind of crime do I look like I commit? What kind of crime do I look like I do?
Let's see. Wait, look to the right.
yeah. Can you give a? Yeah.
Look to the left.
Yep, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Just some mugshot merch is pretty funny. All right, you guys got something down?
Yeah.
All right, Cuske, what do you got down?
I have 2 options.
No, you have to go with one.
Well, too bad. 2 options, depending if you're at the airport or in a doorway battery or drunk and disorderly.
Okay.
Ooh.
I had public intoxication.
You like
Well,
Wisconsin
you're both
too
wrong.
much.
I've actually gotten out of a DUI before, which is unheard of. And it was
Wisconsin.
because I was in Minneapolis, and it was because I gave up the weed I had. And it was during the Minnesota State Fair, which is one of the biggest fairs in the world, and but aside from the World's Fair. And I had just come from an open mic, and I was crashing at a buddy's house, classic road comic story, and we all just did shots right before we left.
Obviously.
And I was and I'm not saying this for the sake of the story or I wasn't fucked up, dude. I was not fucked up. I was totally fine.
A tale as old as time.
Came out just like that to the cop, too.
Sorry, everybody says I only had 2 drinks, officer. But we did have a shot right before we left, and that was so I get pulled over. It's really because I'm texting and I'm driving and I got a lot of shit going on. I'm trying to load the weed in a bowl while I'm driving. I'm doing a bunch of shit. I'm doing 7 things. That was really the problem. Is I shouldn't have been doing that many things while.
You had passengers. You could have delegated.
No, I was by myself. I was going to a buddy's house. I was crashing. Yeah. Because
I thought you were
everybody
with
had
the
just
buddy.
dispersed. Yeah. So
Gotcha.
I was gonna go to drink at my buddy's house where I was crashing, and then we were gonna smoke weed, blah blah blah. Play video games, nerd shit. And so I get pulled over, and he was like, he wanted me to breathe, and everybody I've ever talked to was like, don't breathe. Don't do the thing. Say no. And he was like, well, if you don't take the breathalyzer, I'm going to have to take you in. And I was like, okay. And so then he took me in, and then I was like, officer, I'm not from here. I don't know what the fuck the deal is here. Every state's different. I travel for a living. I have to talk to an attorney. You can't, you could easily take advantage of me. And but then he put me in a room with a phone and a phone book. But thank God to all the other criminals in Minnesota or Minneapolis, they had ripped out all of the pages for the attorneys. So I was like, yeah, truly, yeah. So I was like, okay. I was like, dude, how am I supposed to What do you want me to do? There's not 1-800-attorney. Like, that's not a thing here. How am I was like, you got to let me use my phone to at least look something. So then I get the guy to give me my phone back. And then I texted every comedian I knew in Minneapolis, and I was like, one of you has to be a fucking paralegal. One of you has to know an attorney or have been in a DUI situation before. And then, lo and behold, somebody was. And then they were texting. They call me. Whatever. Somebody gives my number. It all goes through the grapevine. The paralegal comedian calls me, and he keeps me on the phone for like 2 hours. And mind you, the cop that arrested me is seething because it's drunk, and now it's 2:00 in the morning. All the drunks are out, and he's in here with me on I don't know, maybe she's drunk. I don't know. There's no proof, right? Because I passed the sobriety test with the regular, but I refused to blow. And that was the whole thing, is he was going to take me in because I refused to blow. I was like, look, I'm not going to blow in that because I don't know if that's calibrated right or whatever. I was trying to remember all the shit you're supposed to say. I was like, but I do have a little bit of marijuana in my car, and I know it's legal here, but take it. I get it. And he was like, okay, you're being really cool about this, but I can't. I'm going to have to take you in because you're refusing to blow. And I was like, fine. So we go in. I go into the thing with the thing. I call everybody out. So then the paralegal calls me. I'm sorry, I was just catching you up. I forgot some details. So the paralegal calls me. We're on the phone. And he goes, just keep waiting. He's like, there's no disclosed amount of time that you have to make a decision on an attorney. They just have to give you ample time. So there's no actual amount of time. So he's going to get sassy with you. He's going to give you shit. He's going to tell you need to wrap it up. And every time he would, I would just go, okay, but I don't know. I'm trying to get a hold of somebody. I don't know anyone in this town. I don't know what the law is here. I don't know any. So I constantly keep pushing back. And he's like, fine. Whatever. He's just getting mad because he knows legally he has to let me seek counsel. And so then by the time he's like, he was like, okay, this is it. Like, because now it's like around 2.5 hours I've been sitting in there not knowing what to do. Yes. And so guy is fucking pissed. Meanwhile, they've like brought in, like, there's like a couple of carnies in there that reek. You know what I mean? The kind of people that you could smell the meth on them. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's what that smell is, right? And so then I finally goes, well, you're gonna have to blow, or he's gonna take you to jail. So then I go, fine. He goes, so if you think you're good now, blow now. And then you can that's the only way you can get out of this. He's like, the only issue is gonna be is they're gonna impound your car, blah blah blah. So this shit. I was like, okay, well, fucking fine. Again, I would rather have a $300 impound fee than a $10,000 DUI. So I was like, fine. So then he finally gets fed up, and he's like, you have to blow now. I have to decide. I've worked at blah blah whatever. He's giving me shit. So I was like, all right, fine. So I blow, and it's 0.07.
Oh my God.
That's a win.
That's sick.
2 shots my ass.
That's a Hail Mary at the 4th.
I was truly saved by stand-up comedy that night, because if I hadn't have known, I would have been so screwed. So I guess you guys are close.
Drunk? Yeah, I mean, like,
you were drunk and you were really disorienting that cop. So
she seemed orderly though. She knew her legal rights.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great story. Just prolong it.
The cop almost committed battery.
Yeah.
I fought the law and I won, motherfucker.
Drunk and orderly.
Yeah, there you go.
Drunk and very orderly. Drunk and organized.
All right, so the next question.
What I actually got arrested for was for driving with a suspended license. I had like 9 counts of driving with a suspended license back in the day.
That's pretty metal of you.
I was like 22 and just didn't believe in paying tickets. It was one of those things. And every time I would get arrested, or not get arrested, but get pulled over, I'd be like, I don't know. And then you can't do that with 9 counts of suspension on your license.
Yeah, they're like, you knew at some point. Like, you should know.
You had to know something. Yeah.
I had that one time a headlight was out, or like it was that, or a taillight was out, and like a cop pulled me over and was like, "Yeah, you gotta fix it." And a week later, he pulled me over again, and he's like, "You gotta fix it." And then by the third time, I was like, "I didn't know it was out." He's like, "I pulled you over twice for this. How did you not know it was out?"
I do that all the time.
I didn't know you were in Bridesmaids. That's kind of what happened in Bridesmaids.
Oh yeah, that's after my life. I was. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Am I right, guys?
I still do that with my car. When I get an oil change, and because I have a shithole car.
Yeah.
You can hear it from like 2 miles away. The exhaust is rusted through in 2 places. It's not great. But every time I go get an oil change, I know they're going to give me like the whole spiel like, hey, you need to fix this, this, and this. And I tell them, hey, I'm doing the rounds today. I'm getting the oil changed, and I'm getting this fixed, and I'm getting this fixed. Don't even try and sell me on this. And I've done it to 5 different places that do oil change. I'm afraid to go back to the same place because they're going to do that. I'm like, dude, it's been a year, and your exhaust is still dragging on the ground.
You're driving an hour out of the city just to get your oil changed?
I've gotten out of tickets because they're like, hey, your license is suspended, or I had a taillight out.
Your license suspended is not the same thing as having a broken down car, Michael.
My license was expired, and then I'm like, oh, I'm actually like, I'm going to go get my stickers right now. I just had them sent to my mom's house. They're like, oh, okay. And then like a week later, like, your taillight is out. I'm like, yeah, I'm actually going to go fix right now. Like, okay,
You are the
just
worst.
make sure.
You're the
I've
worst.
gotten out of a lot. It's nice.
I haven't gotten a single one. I got my license
Another win
suspended.
for straight white males. Oh my gosh! Thank God. Thank God, Michael Cuske out of trouble.
I've lost every single time I've met the law. Just so everyone knows. So we're 50-50 with straight white males.
They just think I'm cute.
No one has been like, you know what? Yeah, I trust this guy.
I've gotten two. Yeah, I've gotten two.
Yeah, it's
speeding
not
tickets.
foolproof, that whole thing.
No.
It's not foolproof.
So next question: who would play you in a movie? Who would play you in a movie about your life?
Who would play me in a movie about my life?
I also have an idea who I'd put, but I'm
Would you
gonna
like to go first?
save it.
Go
No, you guys go first.
Should I go first?
Yeah.
Sure.
I said Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
First of all, fuck you. That's hilarious. Is it because I'm 5 foot, huh?
The funny thing is, if Cuske stands up, he's still gonna be in camera frame. That's
Yeah,
how
exactly.
short he is.
Watch, ready?
He's the short one of the
Oh
group,
shit!
so-
I didn't know you were sitting. Okay.
I
on,
said Sir Ian McClellan.
Ooh. Okay.
Wise.
Okay.
Great actor. Been around the block.
I was
Looks great in a wizard hat.
gonna go Sandy B. I love a good Sandra Bullock. Who?
Oh yeah, Sandy B. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Congeniality. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
The Proposal.
I think we're
great.
just a little off.
All right.
Sandy B doesn't have magic.
That's true. All right, who would play you?
Okay. That's a hot take. Holy shit. Okay.
She's got magical legs. I
Have
will
you
say
seen
that.
The Blind Side? Come on, she's got magic. All right. who would play you in a movie?
Well, I appreciate your clever answers, but we're talking about the film industry, which is hacky as fuck. So they'd probably hire Melissa McCarthy. I think we all know that. They would fucking pick Melissa McCarthy just because that is the hacky thing people say to me. Like, I am nothing like Melissa McCarthy at all. Foul-mouthed. I am way meaner. She's like such a delightful, as far as comedic archetypes, we are very different. But everybody always says that because she's fat and funny. But yeah. So that's probably what the film industry would play.
Okay.
So who would you choose then?
Yeah, who would you want?
Me, motherfucker, I want the credit.
Fuck yeah, that's true.
Why am I
Yep.
Is this
I can
after a weird death you guys know about that I don't know?
Yeah, this is your biopic. This is long after
We're gonna
you've
direct
been
it
here.
After you pass, we'll be on it.
These 3 guys from Wisconsin made a movie.
Yeah, who would be alive if it's years later? You know what I'm saying?
They did spend a lot of time with her. They went through 2 free Zoom calls.
We asked 7 questions.
Yes, Selena Gomez is now starring.
Yes, geriatric Selena Gomez now plays.
What is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh man, good luck, boys.
Ooh, yeah.
Can you give us
Yeah,
any
4%.
hint?
Yeah. Are you like on the range of musically talented?
Because
Are we
the way
high?
you say it is like you're doing a song with no words. You just get up there and dance.
Well, the thing is before I did stand up, I used to host karaoke because it was the closest thing I could get.
Oh shit! So she's
So-
good at doing
Yeah.
it. She's good at
Yeah,
singing.
so I used not that necessarily that I'm good, but I've done it a lot. Before I did stand up, I used to go to karaoke a lot too, so much so they were like, "We should pay you for this. Why don't you do this when I don't want to do it?" kind of thing. And so there's a range. That's what I mean. Is there's a range. But so you guys might be able to pick, but yeah, I can sing somewhat.
Ooh.
Um,
I'm gonna write one down too, just because I think it's fun.
I was really not banking on you knowing how to sing.
Yeah.
It completely changes the choice. Because there's people that don't know how to sing and they choose the hard songs.
Yeah.
Because when they sing it in their car, it somehow sounds a little bit like it matches.
It's because the volume's on 50
That's
and
what-
they
that's the
drown
thing.
themselves out.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I do. That's what I'm going to do on the way home.
How long ago was this karaoke run of yours?
oh, we're talking like 17 years ago, 18 years ago now.
So it wasn't
yeah,
Moana.
my
It wasn't
song-
Moana.
I got my song.
No, it definitely wasn't Moana.
Shit, I bet you could sing the hell out of that, though. Not gonna lie.
I could. You're right.
I'm not even going to write it down. I'm running out of space.
Kuske?
17 years ago.
I'm going corny because... I'm
Sure,
just
there
going
you
with
go.
the-
I mean,
just
it's a pretty big range. Like I sing R&B, rock and roll. I used to be in a band before and then when I started traveling for stand up, the band kind of fizzled out because I was never there anymore because I was always gone doing stand
I
up.
went like weird with the genre
What did you go?
because I'm a country music guy, so I was like Shania Twain. I feel like you could belt like "Man, I Feel Like a Woman."
Yes. That's a good
That'd be a
one.
That'd be a good one.
What'd you go with?
I went with Duel of the Fates from Star Wars Episode 1.
Okay, I feel like I think
That
you
was
might
Jeff
be thinking
Jack.
you're interviewing you. The more you keep answering these questions, you're like, I just said what my favorite was, and I hope you likes my favorite.
I can't sing it, but I feel like you can hit the opera song.
I got
But I
two.
also chose any like Queen. I thought Queen would be a good one.
I got girls want to have fun and Barracuda.
Barracuda.
Ooh, Barracuda's a good one.
Barracuda was a
That's good rock band song.
go-to. That's a very good call, sir.
Good point.
That's a very good call.
The one
Get
thing
host
he
points.
guesses.
Yeah.
The one thing he gets, he gets a point. Now we're all tied. Thanks, man.
All right, what is your go-to karaoke song?
My go-to karaoke song, it was usually one of three, none of which you guys mentioned. But
Star Wars isn't on there?
That's a banger.
oddly enough, yeah, no. And no, actually it was the Diva song from The Fifth Element. Very close, but no. No.
I knew I was on track.
Oh.
I've done this so many, I've done this so much. This is so embarrassing. I've done this so much that it would depend on the vibe of the karaoke bar. So like there's, even now, there are types of karaoke bars. Like some of them always have it. There's usually archetypes within them. Like there's always an old guy singing Frank Sinatra, and there's always a guy going through a divorce singing Bon Jovi, right? And there's always a woman, a woman with very bad tattoos and showing too older, like usually in her 50s, showing too much skin, lower back tattoo on display. Definitely a mother of six, right? Who's singing like Def Leppard or something, some big hair band that made her back in her Coke days before she was a mom. There's always all of those. And then there's always somebody that sings something really sad. There's always a person that sings something so goddamn sad that nobody wants to hear this, Like if you're gonna do a country song, Don't do a fucking, you know what I'm saying? Don't do the Jelly Rolls ballad. You got to sing something with some, it's a bar. Nobody wants to be sad. You didn't come to karaoke to cry together. You know, we came to karaoke to laugh at each other for being tone deaf. That's the point of it. That's what karaoke means. God damn it. Anyways, so I'll sing either a classic rock song, usually like either a Barracuda type song. I love Heart, so I did a lot of Heart songs. Or Cold as Ice by Foreigner, super fun.
Ooh,
or
that's
if it
a
needs
good
more
one.
of a dance vibe, yeah, it's a great one. Also, but if it needs a more dance vibe, then I'll go the other way. I'll do like Superstition from Stevie Wonder or something like that. Something that gets everybody bopping. You know, you gotta get a little bop going because we're halfway liquored up. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta think about the next phase of the evening. So it's either that, but yeah, I've done Bonnie Raitt, I've done the Sheryl Crow songs, I've done so you're not wrong. They're just not my go-to. That's the problem. But I've done a lot of R&B stuff, like fun R&B shit. So it's hard to say. I bring my own book. I'm such an asshole.
You would have
not really. You guys looked at me like Jesus Christ. No, I was kidding.
That'd be so cool.
She's got her own sign-up
I
sheet.
thought it's just right next to the monkey's asshole. And you'd be like, I bring my own book.
That's right here, actually. These are my karaoke songs I bring.
We had one of our biggest mics in Milwaukee for the longest time was at a karaoke bar. It was our Friday one that every comic would go to if you're not on a show, and karaoke right afterwards. And you hit most of the stereotypes there.
Lots more sad ones.
We had a lot of. It was usually like a lot of bachelorette parties or college kids that think they're a lot of the dudes who think they're gonna get laid and they definitely aren't. They're doing songs they definitely shouldn't be singing. They can't say half the words.
Yep, all the rap songs. I used to do that. I used to do I would do like Forgot About Dre or something like that, something that was like really lyrically hard, and then people would be like, "Whoa," because everybody's too fucked up to remember the words. Like, how did she know that? Or 99 Problems But a Bitch Ain't One, and then you'd be like, "I'm the bitch. I am the problem." Make it
And then you
silly.
just mix Lizzo. I'm 100% that bitch.
Switch it up. But then I also used to do what was it? Oh fuck. It was oh man. It doesn't matter. But to the bachelorette parties, they're always singing the Journey songs.
Yeah.
They're always singing that shit or the Britney Spears songs.
Yeah,
and the boys were what?
They also do the Carrie Underwood before he cheats one. And I'm like, who hurt you? Yeah. Who hurt that poor woman in that bachelorette party?
No one hurt that woman. It was just a situationship that was 2 weeks long.
Or she's like, I know I can belt the hell of this out. Dug my key into the side. You know what I mean? You can really get into that. You can have a terrible voice and it'll still sound okay. But.
Or the plot twist, she's the one that's fucking the guy that this lady is marrying. Ooh, there's trouble upon the bridal party. I used to do the open mic at Art Bar. Do you guys still have the Art Bar mic?
We used to. Now there's a show there every once in a while. I'd probably say it's more quarterly than anything. But yeah, we used to have back in my day we used to have it, but yeah, you guys are young. I'm the old one out of the group. These guys are younger than I am, so yeah, I've been in the scene for a while. So I've seen them all. But
I haven't seen much.
That's good into my last question then. What is your favorite city to perform comedy in? Guys, write it down. Her favorite city to perform comedy in.
Oh, wait, we haven't been a lot of places, so like,
not
should we
your
say
favorite
Milwaukee?
city.
Yeah.
This is the rye chips all over again.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it at the same time, right? I wrote the same thing down we talked about. I talked about this with you.
I don't think you spelled it right.
I did. It's just in cursive.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter. Nobody can read it.
Okay.
No one can
3,
read.
2, 1.
Milwaukee.
Atlanta.
Oh shit.
Yay! You're
And
both right.
Denver.
But yeah, obviously you're on tour right now. Going to be going a lot of different places. Do you want to plug where you're all going to be besides Milwaukee.
The
this
Laughing
weekend.
Tap.
Yeah,
Milwaukee, August 9th and 10th. Please come out. One show Friday, two Saturday, I believe, or 2 and 2. But I'm also going to be around the Midwest a lot. So if you guys are traveling around the Midwest, or maybe you're going to see a cousin in Madison, I'm going to be in Madison at the Comedy on State, August 24, 25, 26. I'm going to be at the Comedy Cabin in Janesville, Wisconsin. October 25 and 26, run by a friend, Nathan Clemens. We're all fans of him. I'm also going to be in Minneapolis and St. Paul, October 18, 19, and in Rochester, Minnesota, October 11 and 12. CarmenMorales.com for all of your Carmen Morales needs. All the dates are listed there. Your little ticky links. Buy some shit. Watch my little vids. There's little videos. If you want to do some research and see if you like me or not, I got a little special on HBO Max. Watch that. Just look for Carmen Morales, and that'll come up there too. I also got a little Comedy Central set. If you guys want to watch that, put that in the YouTubes. Carmen Morales, Comedy Central. It'll come right up. So check it out and see if I'm your vibe. And if I'm not, you definitely know a derelict that would enjoy me.
Well, thank you very much for doing this. Thank you for reaching out. We are happy to have you back on whenever you'd like. We're going to try catch your show this weekend. Please send me anything you would like linked anywhere. We'll throw it in, and we're going to promote the hell out of this, and hopefully you get a few sold-out shows here at the Laughing Tap this weekend.
Yay! Wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. This was great. I feel like we do know each other a little better.
Yeah.
Good.
We'll be writing that biopic as soon as we hang up.
I think we know Jack
I get
very
it.
well
You're
after
gonna
this.
play me. I get it.
Opening song, Star Wars.
I mean, good luck getting the rights. I didn't know this was such a high budget production.
I don't know, man. I feel like a woman might be good if Jack's playing her. So,
Well, cheers. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Carmen.
We love it.
This is great. You're a
my
riot.
gosh, it's a blast.
Come see her this weekend and every other weekend that she just mentioned.
Cool.
And we
Awesome.
will see you too.
See you guys.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.